Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's me. Now I know what you're thinking. Another video back to back of me showing my face. I know it's weird considering the fact throughout the past 4 to 5 months I haven't shown you guys my face. But this was genuinely a topic that I felt like I had to discuss, especially considering the fact that now I am officially 21 years old. This is something that I felt even back when I was like 17 and 18, when I was really getting interested in the internet, exploring through YouTube, Google, and pretty much everything. But now looking back at it when I'm an adult, as you probably read by the title, this is something that I feel is just so childish, so ridiculous. It's so absurd that often at times it even makes me feel embarrassed as a young person, like a young adult slash young person, when I look back at all this. As you guys read by the title, I want to discuss the elephant of the room, pretty much kid shows, or more specifically shows that we would typically watch from the age of 1 all the way up to age 8, I want to say. Now, I don't want to name any major shows like this in particular. Well, I'll name 3 just to set for examples. One of them being Dora, one of them being Baby Shark, and the third being one that I grew up the most is Go Diego Go. Now, guys, little side note, Diego is pretty much the reason why I got so fascinated into animals. I'm just going to say that, and I'm just going to leave it at that. He's the reason why I'm so interested in animals. But the reason why I bring those 3 shows up, even though there's plenty more, I pretty much want to set it as an example, those 3 as an example of how whenever I look at those shows and I see reviews like stuff like that, I see stuff where people either make edits or they either make fan art of shows just like the 3 I mentioned, like either slandering, making fun of particular characters, making fun of the show as a whole, and just overall people just doing things that a 4 to 9 year old would do, because it's really ridiculous. Like, you would see, like, in fact, if you guys are able to, like, open a new tab, like, go to Google or Bing or whatever browser you guys use, type in, for an example, type in Baby Shark Big Show fan art, or just Baby Shark fan art and stuff, and you will go to the images and you will see, like, you would probably see, regular normal fan art as you see, but there would be some pictures where it edits and it isn't just Baby Shark, but just like the other 2 I mentioned in other shows just like that, you would see edits of the characters just being like injured or like about to be hit by something, and or you would see something like where somebody makes an edit of, the character in question, and then some other characters, like from a show that's a little bit more mature, like saying something mean or nasty to said characters, and then the other edit is about, the character in question, crying or something like that. And when I tell you guys, when I look at stuff like that, it literally amazes me how childish the cartoon community as a whole can just be so immature, so irresponsible, so absurdly ridiculous. It even makes me a little bit ashamed of being part of that community, even though I've never done anything like that. I've never done anything like that, even back when I was like, I'm going to say I was 16 and I was going on YouTube, and it was just like, and it wasn't until I turned like 18 when I going on Google searching up, some of my old favorite cartoons, and I see stuff like that. And it's like, and the biggest reason why it pisses me off so much is because you guys know as well as I do that it is definitely like 18 to 20-year-olds who are doing stuff like that, because no fully grown person, like from the ages of 30 to 40, heck even 50, if they're still using the internet, would do something that immature. And what makes it even worse is that the immature people are literally ruining the cartoons for literally everyone else. Because imagine if something like a little kid, they see something like that, thinking that's associated with the actual show when it's not, and then they end up hating said character or the show as a whole because of that said piece that they saw on the internet, because somebody immature who doesn't like the show or hates a certain show or something like that decides to post that on the internet because they feel some type of way. When an end, and another thing that makes me so angry is because like everybody knows that these shows were specifically made for little kids. I'm talking from toddlers, babies to like 4 to 9 year olds like that. And it's like people are just like, and it just really makes you so irritated because it's like people don't be thinking when they do stuff like that. And then when people go ahead, they attack that person or they call them out on some unfair behavior or some ridiculous nonsense, they want to have the nerve to get angry at people like us because we're calling them out on some unfair nonsense. Like they're doing nonsense, we're telling them that it's unfair and they have the nerve to get upset. And it doesn't matter if it's your art or if it's your account, you like, just because you can upload something like that, that doesn't mean you should. And I can understand, to send another example like Baby Shark, I can understand why so many people, like young people, even older people, like from 30 to 40, can find shows like Baby Shark an aggravation because of how it is, and especially the song. I feel like if Baby Shark's like main theme song wasn't redundant, as irritating as it was, people would probably start disliking it less. We probably weren't up to it. But it's the fact so many young kids like it. So many little kids love it. And it just scares me so much, because what if a young kid ends up seeing like that messed up fan art that for a fact where kids will be at looking, like not intentionally looking for it, but probably will still end up seeing it somehow, and then they look back at the show and they may not ever be able to look the show at the same way again. It's like people, especially like whenever social media started really popping up and all these new websites and stuff popping around, I feel like people genuinely forgot what's considered as, standing opinion or a little review from what's considered straight up slander, like straight up just slander, garbage, slurs, and all that negative stuff. It's like people take the opportunity of show how they write or show how they feel about certain something, but then they just add so much toxicity and negativity and slander, stir it up, and then just serve it out to the public like as if we want to see something like that. And because, like I said, guys, even as a fully grown adult, even though I'm 21 years old, shows like Diego, Dora, and even Baby Shark, and all those other shows, like just to name a few, like even The Backyardigans, which is the number one that I grew up with, like those shows hold a sentimental value to me. It reminds me of the days back when I was a little mischievous kid, when I didn't have to take on too much responsibilities. Like these shows are like childhood adventures to so many kids, and even to so many people who grow up looking at that stuff. And even though now as an adult, I do kind of have a different perspective on certain shows now, especially the newer kid shows, for babies and toddlers and even little kids now. I can understand why so many people do kind of dislike the shows, but it's like you're a fully grown person, like you are grown, like you are supposed to set a better example for a younger generation, yet you're over here on the internet being childish over a show that you don't even really watch, or possibly shouldn't even be watching because you're a fully grown person. And most of the time, it be people who are probably like 18 to 20 or just in their full 20s in general. Guys, I'm just really sorry that this come off as like a very serious, unnecessary rant. But this was genuinely something that I felt like needed to be addressed because one, it was something I needed to get off my chest, and two, I really haven't seen anybody else talking about specific things like this. And so I decided, hey, why don't I share this with the internet? But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I promise the next video I do is going to be a bit more cheerful and not, me being angry. Yeah, because, I don't like being on the internet and then being angry. But this was just something that made me so mad, made me so confused, like made me so even embarrassed in that I didn't even do anything like this. And here I am, like calling people out, But hey, like if nobody else is gonna do it, I might as well do it. But anyway, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next video.